Stephanie Dreyer, a plant-based meal planning expert and the founder of Batch Cooking Club, a weekly vegan meal prep membership that makes dinner easier. I am here today with our live cooking class. We're here every Thursday, and today we are making quinoa fried rice, which is one of the featured recipes on the weekend to put together cashew and edamame quinoa fried lettuce wraps next week for dinner. So that's the way we do it here at Batch Cooking Club. We give you 4 to 6 things to prep on the weekend, and then it speeds up your dinners during the week to give you more ease and joy getting dinner on the table. So before we start, I'm going to give a shout out to anybody who's watching. Go ahead and drop a comment. Let us know you're here. Tell us where you're watching from. A special shout out to our members who are watching, and if you're watching in replay, shout hashtag replay. And if you have any questions, this is such a fun, casual space. I will post the link to the full recipe later, so don't feel like you have to feverishly write everything down. But if you have questions, please put them in there. Even if you're watching in replay, I go through everything and make sure I'm answering everything. So I do my best to get to everybody. So please, 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 I love to help you with your meal planning. So I'm gonna start off with what we're doing today. We're making, again, quinoa fried rice. And this is obviously a take on regular fried rice, but we're using quinoa to plant power it up. I'm going to add some garlic. I've put garlic in everything, and some carrot sticks. I have just taken 3 carrots, and I've kind of done a little thicker than a julienne. It's like a matchstick. You could also take some help from the store and use shredded carrots. So I'm all about taking help from the store when you need to. I'm all about simplifying. So I will always give you tips if you can speed things up. So I just cut these up myself, but absolutely take some help from the store and use shredded carrots. So I'm gonna put my onions aside for a second and just get this cooking, because the carrots take about 10 minutes to soften, and then we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients. And I'm going to add, let's put this in here. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of tamari. Tamari is gluten-free soy sauce. You can also use shoyu, which is regular, or just regular soy sauce. I am using this brand. I love this brand. They're not paying me to say this. It's just my go-to brand. And I'm just going to put a tablespoon of tamari in here just to flavor the carrots. A little there. And we're going to let those carrots do their thing and cook up for about 10 minutes just to soften. And let me just give it a little zhuzh in here. All right, make sure those are good. Okay, so those are just gonna cook up. Again, just a little tamari and garlic, very simple. We're gonna also add in some green onions. Now, this is fried rice, so you can make it whatever you want. Add peas, add zucchini, add mushrooms, add water chestnuts, add whatever flavors and vegetables your family likes. I recognize completely that no family is one size fit all, and so I don't think any recipe should be either. So I always aim with our Batch Cooking Club recipes to give you good base recipes that you can then build from and make your own. So these are just some basic veggies I'm using today, but it would be delicious by adding peas and mushrooms, and water chestnut sounds really good. So I'm just going, these are already cleaned and trimmed. I'm gonna just cut off the white parts to put in the fried rice, but then I'm going to reserve the green parts and slice those up to garnish it with. But I'm only gonna use, and this is, I like to do like my quick method with my onions. I usually do a couple at a time, and I chop them. And I always, in case you need a little refresher on your knife skills, remember to always, you're gonna always put your fingers down so your knife is hitting against your knuckles and not you're chopping off your fingers. So I'm gonna put that aside there. We're gonna chop these up. Do we have any questions while I'm getting this started?
We have no questions, but we have nice individuals from Texas, from Washington, from California, and I can't get them all.
Well, welcome. I appreciate you so much joining live. I'm just gonna leave those there. You need about a cup of green onions. This is a little I should have done a little more. Let me cut a little bit more of this. But that's it. The recipe calls for about a cup. And I'm going to do a little bit more. There. Okay. That'll be more or less. It's good. I'm going to give this another zhuzh. Okay, so let me talk to you about the recipe. So we have the quinoa fried rice lettuce wraps on the menu for this week with edamame and cashews. We also have a fajita Cobb salad with a marinated seitan that is so good. My family loved it, my kids and my husband. We've also got cauliflower rice fajita bowls. So we always take one recipe that we're prepping on the weekend and we make a big batch of it and use it in two completely different ways. This week, that is our fajita sheet pan vegetables. We're using those sheet pan vegetables once in that Cobb salad, and then we're also using them in those cauliflower rice fajita bowls. So you get a variety of recipes. We are also making some Greek pita burgers. So that's one of the recipes you'll prep on the weekend. We have these white bean Greek patties. So that's something you'll prep on the weekend along with this rice and the fajita sheet pan vegetables and a Greek vegan tzatziki sauce. That's going on those pita burgers as well. So we give you 4 to 6 recipes to prep on the weekend in 2 hours or less. That's it, just 2 hours or less, 4 to 6 recipes, and you have 4 dinners prepped for the week. As I said, we've got these lettuce wraps are gonna be good to go. All you have to do is reheat your rice and add a little edamame and cashews. Serve it with some, make a little sauce, and then you serve it with some lettuce, and it's delish. It makes a great lunch too, by the way. I love lettuce wraps for lunch. I don't know, drop a thumbs up if you're a lettuce wrap person. I can make a lettuce wrap out of anything, but with fried rice, it's pretty fun and delicious. We also, for anybody who's watching who's not a member, we have a great trial program. You can try us out for a month for just $1. So head to batchcookingclub.com/trial and you can give us a try for a month. And get a taste of all these recipes that I'm telling you about and get to try the prep plan with the grocery list and all that stuff. Now, I did want to mention, I said we're using tamari because it's gluten-free. Because I like gluten-free because my stomach works better with it. And we recognize that a lot of our, ooh, these smell so good, and they're getting caramelized. Do you want to kind of check in on here and show them that? See, they're kind of getting a little caramelization there, which yum, smells so good. I think we're about ready to add in our rice and our onions. Let me do that. Let me add the quinoa and the onions, and then I'll tell you about our substitutions that we offer, because gluten and other allergies are a real thing for many people. So I always like to make sure that people know that we have those options available. I'm just adding the fried rice, the quinoa. Here we go. This is a great recipe to double tube, everybody, because you could freeze this really, really well. Quinoa fried rice, freeze you some water on our app and easily come up with an alternative so you're not stuck. So we try to think of everything so you don't have to think about it. That's our goal. Okay, so now we are just stir frying this basically to get the quinoa a little crispy like fried rice would be. And that's pretty much the end. If it needs a little bit more tamari, we'll add that in. We'll garnish it with our onion tops. And we'll also add, I'm going to show you, I have a little furikake, which if you're new to that, let me rock your world with this seasoning. I love it. Okay, so furikake, it's a Japanese rice seasoning. You can get it at like your health food store, obviously Asian food stores. You can even get it on Amazon. And I'll show you what it looks like. It's a blend of nori, sesame seeds, and a little sugar. Let me see if there's anything else in it. Oh, and salt. Yeah, seaweed, salt. Nori is seaweed. It's just those sheets that you wrap sushi in. This stuff is life-changing. It is delicious on rice. So I like to put it on my salads. I like to put it in my soups. It's so yummy. And it's really good for you because it has the seaweed, which is a sea vegetable, which has so many great minerals for you. So I always recommend some sea vegetables as part of a healthy plant-based diet because it just gives you such great minerals. And if you want kind of like that seafood flavor, it's a great non-animal way to add that to your dishes. So we're gonna garnish our rice with a little bit of this. Put that there. All right, any questions? No questions. All right, So again, you can check out the rest of this menu at batchcookingclub.com/this-week. We're gonna post the recipe for you. And we have new recipes that we post every week on our blog at batchcookingclub.com/blog. This week we have up there our vegan tzatziki sauce that I mentioned in our pita burgers. That is a really delicious recipe. Spoiler alert there, or recommendation, make a double batch of that because it will go quick. You'll find so many different ways to use that sauce, not just on pitas, but you can use it as a dip with salad or crudité and things like that. So there are lots of opportunities to get recipes from us and to get a feel for what we're all about. Like I said, we're here every Thursday with a live cooking class. And I think that this is about ready, you guys. Any salt or any other seasoning. The tamari gives you all of that salty deliciousness. It doesn't need any more. The recipe calls, ooh, that's good. I know what I'm having for lunch. The recipe calls for 4 tablespoons of tamari or soy sauce. You're gonna put, if you remember, we put 1 tablespoon in with the carrots and that got that caramelization. Then we added 2 tablespoons when we were stir frying it. You wanna taste it and you might not need that other tablespoon. It's just you have to see. So here we are, I'm just gonna see if you can't really see the crunchiness, but I can taste it that it's perfect. You just want a little bit of bite to it like you would a fried rice. I'm gonna finish these onions off and we're just gonna garnish. And then if you were, say you were making the quinoa, cashew and edamame fried rice lettuce wraps, you would just, there's a little sauce that we have for our members to make with it, and you would just add some edamame and cashews to this to give it more protein. Now last week, if you tuned in, we made a delicious miso glazed tofu. You can catch that recipe over on our Facebook page here too. I'm just garnishing this off. That recipe, that tofu would be delicious with this rice in the lettuce wrap. So I have been known to make that once or twice for my family. Actually, we did that last week for dinner. It was so fun. Okay, so I'm just gonna, you can see I'm just making it look pretty. I'm taking a little bit of the furikake and just doing a little sprinkle. And there you have it, my friends. Quinoa fried rice. And again, I invite you to make it your own. Add your own vegetables. Again, if my kids would let me, if they would all eat it, I would put peas and mushrooms in here. It would be delicious. But we've got a divided house on who likes the mushrooms and who likes the peas. So this is the common denominator of what everybody likes. So I invite you to figure that out and make it your own. Any other questions before I kind of wrap things up? All right, everybody. I want to, as always, thank you for tuning in. A special shout out to our members who are tuning in. We so appreciate you. And I invite everybody who's watching who maybe isn't a member to check us out at batchcookingclub.com. As I mentioned, we have a 1-month trial for just $1. And we also have other services and coaching programs that you can be a part of. I invite you to follow us over here on Facebook and also on Instagram at Batch Cooking Club. And you can also connect with me over at Veegmama, Veegmama on Instagram and Facebook. I share lots of stories and tips about my journey as a plant-based mom with a non-vegan family and how I feed my family almost I cook at least 5 homemade meals a week and feed with 1 meal. I feed my family with 1 meal. So I'm all about simplifying and taking the stress out of cooking so that you can enjoy and connect at the table. That is why we're here. It's about the food, but it's really about the connection around the dinner table and connecting and bonding with each other. So thank you for inviting me into your kitchen. I will see you next Thursday. Have a wonderful day.